Yeah, what can you tell us about William Cachovitus? He's listed on the depth chart at 3 spots. Fontel was telling me just about how much he's earned it and how he wanted it for him to be part kind of the rotation.
Hmm.
Seems like he's found a place.
Yeah, if I could sum up in one word, he's a worker. And, we've had a lot of talks, him being a walk on, myself as a former walk on, you got to make the most out of every opportunity you have. And he's shown everybody around the facilities that, he does that. And, I'm excited for him and excited for the season he's going to have.
Caleb, what does it mean to you to be a captain of this team?
Oh, yeah, I guess I'm saying, definitely my number one goal coming into this offseason. I mentioned that in all my meetings with, the coaches after spring and over the summer. And just to have that respect from your team and the coaching staff, it definitely means a lot.
And as far as the cornerbacks go, I know you're going up against them probably all the time in practice. What can we expect from Dorian Strong, Armani Chapman, Breon Murray, those guys?
Just Virginia Tech defense, just flying around. I think Coach Marv, he has a saying in the meetings that the offensive guys kind of listen to, play like your hair's on fire. And, I've been seeing that a lot from the defense.
You've been through a lot of season openers. How does the anticipation to this one compare to previous years? Is it a greater sense of anticipation for that?
If I could go to sleep tonight and wake up and it'd be Friday, I'd probably be the happiest kid in the world. But, it's just this being the first time that this group, gets to go out there and show what we're about. We're very confident after all the preparation we put in, and, we're just excited.
Have you ever seen Grant Wells get really fired up at a
Yes.
practice? Because
Yeah.
he seems pretty mild-mannered around us. I'm curious, what does he look like when he gets dialed up a little bit?
To be, the starting quarterback, you have to be a very fierce competitor. And there's been times where, he wasn't shy to let that show a little bit. And, just having that guy at the helm and, knowing that he's going to do everything he can do to compete and win a game. And, that's something that a lot of the guys follow, and that's why he's a captain also.
What kind of ball does he throw in terms of can you tell as a receiver that's different from other quarterbacks, or does he do something that maybe other quarterbacks don't?
He's very accurate. He's one of the most accurate quarterbacks I've spent my time with here. And as far as that, receiver, I guess I should probably pick up little differences, but I know he puts it where it needs to be when it needs to be there.
You didn't play. You were on the roster in 2018 when they made the trip there. Has that been brought up at all? Has any of the veterans kind of talked about pitfalls to avoid? There's probably a handful of players left that played in that game. Has that been mentioned at all?
I wouldn't say it's been mentioned. It's definitely been a thought in my head because I was redshirting that year, so I wasn't there. But I still had that feeling and just found a little motivation here and there. But I feel like the biggest thing that we're looking forward to is just showing what this team can do. Being this the first time this team is being put together and put into test, and that's kind of really the main motivation going forward.
Along those same lines, I know you guys mentioned you're confident in getting out there, improving yourselves, but Coach Price said that, hey, we still know that this will be some work to do despite what happens. How do you stay, even keeled despite the confidence, but yet there will be some areas of improvement?
Yeah, I think that's just, it's credit to all the work we put in the offseason. The biggest thing is, being a college footballer, you're going to deal with adversity at times, and how you overcome that is, how we grow as a team. So we always know that, ODU is a very mature team, 3 years with the coaching staff they have there now. So we never take any game lightly, but, I guess building that confidence all offseason, is what's bringing us to that game.
Caleb, you mentioned you wish tomorrow was Friday or maybe even today is Friday. But for you personally, what do you do to get ready for a game week? What's your routine? What are some things you do during a game week to get ready for a game?
Yeah, just a lot of recovery, a lot of time watching the film, and just slowly, adding on to that confidence level because I like to visualize. I'm a huge visualize guy. Visualize myself laying down in bed, making those plays on Friday night, and that's just by the time days going forward, that just builds on it, and by Friday you're ready to let it all out.
Caleb, is there an aspect of starting the season on the road that, I don't know, maybe there's fewer distractions than, what a home game weekend here at Lane Stadium might bring? I know obviously you guys like playing at home, but is there something about kind of the business trip aspect of starting the season on the road?
I don't really pay too much mind about that because, you're only guaranteed this game right now. It's football, stuff happens all the time. But just knowing that, when the schedule came out that you were going to ODU, that's the first game. Nothing else really matters.
Okay, we'll go to a couple questions on Zoom. Can we please start with Hank?
Coach Pry said that when Grant got there, he was pretty quiet for a long time. How much have you seen his demeanor change, if at all, since he was named the starting quarterback?
I don't think his demeanor has really changed. You know, he's quiet, but he also, you know, is very vocal when he needs to be, and that's been consistent all throughout January up to now.
Is it more positive vocal, negative vocal, or some of both?
It's some of both. You know, whatever needs to be said. You know, I mean, he's a captain for that reason. He's gonna say it, and I mean, a lot of guys respect him for that, and there's never any hurt feelings in it.
Thank you.
Go to David Teal on Zoom, please.
Caleb, was the spring game a springboard for you moving into the summer and preseason camp, just fueling your confidence as to what you could accomplish this season?
I mean, the spring game was definitely a fun weekend, and I don't think it really played a role in building my confidence up because you know I know the work that I put in, and it's really just reassuring that you know that connection with Grant was there, and you know just seeing like the new staff and the plays that we were running. You know, I was very excited about that.
And Andy and Hank asked you about Grant's demeanor. When he's in the huddle, can you almost tell that this is a guy who's been a starter for 2 seasons, 23 games, just by the way he comports himself in the huddle?
I mean, yeah, he's very composed. You know, at that quarterback position, you know, you got to have a level head throughout the game, and you know everything I've seen from him, you know, shows that.
Thank you.
Go to Aaron, please, on Zoom.
Hey, Caleb, I wanted to follow up on your visualization there. What does that look like when you're visualizing? Is it like you're running a route, or is it visualizing the scene of the stadium, or what do you see when you do that?
I mean, it's just a little bit of everything. You know, I like to think about, you know, plays that we've been running in the week and putting myself under the lights, you know, 7 o'clock game and, you know, making those plays. And it could be anything from, you know, going down there and just blocking, just visualizing every aspect of the game, you know, visualizing running out the tunnel or whatever it is and just getting the energy there.
When did you start doing that, and why have you found it helpful?
Probably back in my high school days, honestly. You know, it's something that my dad preached to me a lot. Like, it's almost a shame to go out there and do something without, you know, visualizing yourself doing it first. And that just adds, I mean, you see yourself do it, and even if it's in your head, you know, it adds more confidence to it.
Thanks, man. Good luck Friday.
Thank you.
Can we go back in the room? Can we go with David first?
Yeah, Caleb, anything jump out to you about ODU secondary on film that you've watched?
Yeah, I mean, they have some older guys back there, and, you know, I think they're talented. I think there's one cornerback. He's a pretty long guy, tall, so, you know, I'm excited for that matchup, honestly.
Take 1, 2 more in the back. Yep.
Caleb, when you play a game on a Friday, are you the type of guy that will watch a lot of college football on Saturday, or are you going to kind of take that day off from football? What's kind of your approach to that?
No, I would definitely make sure I'll be watching a lot of games. I mean, it's college football, you know, and me being a player, you know, I love it, and I love the game at all levels. So definitely in my free time, I'll definitely sit back, get off my feet a little bit, and watch some games.
I know both of the coaching staffs are rather familiar with each other. They give you guys any added motivation to try to get the win for Pride, to have, you know, some kind of bragging rights, I guess, over those guys?
No, I can't really say that. I mean, it's us versus ODU, and that's really all the motivation we really need.
Final questions for Caleb? Okay, thank you, everybody.
All right.
Thank you, Caleb.
Thank you, guys.
Thank you.